Hi, thank you for attending this meeting. Today we will look into the progress and planning behind the VCE Legal Studies Units 1 to 4. My name is Alexandra Ioan and I am the project manager. First things first, let's look into the overall project plan. This project involves the build and delivery of 2 VCE Legal Studies textbooks within the EdTech space. It includes the delivery of the printed legal studies books within a larger VCE Legal Studies product that combines both print and digital elements. Why is waterfall methodology suitable for this project? As this is a printed product, it has a start and end date that are clearly defined. Knowing the exact print deadlines that are set in agreement with our printers means that the project is worked in steps, segmenting the workflow according to the end date. Following the 5 steps of the waterfall methodology, the project will go through analysis, design, build, test, and implementation. The project management for the build of this product does not fall under the Agile methodology, even if it's built within the EdTech space, where Agile is most commonly used. Some elements from Agile methodology, such as multiple rounds of QA, going back and forth between designers and authors until a lesson is completed, can be seen, but the overall project is not an Agile project because it is a time-bound project with a clear start and end date that are not flexible. It is not interactive, meaning that once we send the book to the printers, they cannot be modified. And it's heavily reliant on processes and tools. Any changes after the project starts will be very problematic, putting the success of the project in danger. I consider waterfall to be the most appropriate methodology with some elements from Agile. The purpose of this project is to deliver the build of the new VCE Legal Studies product in line with the latest VCA changes. In scope, we have the typesetting, reviewing, revising of lessons, merging the lessons into chapters and then into books, and signing off the textbooks and sending them to print. Our scope does not include the design of template and covers or the authoring of lessons. Main risks are the changes in legislation, which can affect the accuracy of the content, also potential availability issues from our authors during the exam period, as they are all students. And then there's the fact that designers are shared across books, which can lead to understaffing if other books require them. Looking at the risks ahead of time can allow us to prepare. The ways to mitigate the risks involve planning around them, scheduling the content that can be affected by changes in legislation to be tackled later on once we have clarity. Also, regarding authors, we plan to build a solid backlog of manuscripts before they go into exam period. And regarding the issue of designers being shared, by keeping a constant communication with our resourcing team, we should build more flexibility into our ways of approaching this to reduce or increase output from designers according to our needs. Here is a quick look at our milestones. Main ones would be the sales samples. The most important one is the start of collation, which will affect if we're on time or not for delivering book 1 and book 2. Key stakeholders and roles and responsibilities. Looking at our stakeholder power map, following the quadrant in which they are, I've planned for different types of communication. The quadrant of high power, high interest need to be kept in the loop constantly. This is why I'm using daily communication in person on Slack or through email. Low power, low interest need less of interaction, but still they need to be kept in the loop. So the communication is by email on a weekly frequency. The high power, low interest, such as our end users, are kept in the loop through a monthly communication by email or through our social media and website. Our low power, low interest group will be kept in the loop in an email on a quarterly basis. Please pause if you would like to look more at our interest maps and how stakeholders affect our project here as well. Project outline. Please follow the link below if you would like to get into detail about project initiation and project planning. These two have been completed. We are currently over the first two parts and into project execution. This is the biggest part of the project, and we're currently focusing on lessons up until 4th of September. We have multiple dependencies here. We cannot start sales collateral before we start lessons because they are lessons. Our reviews need to be finished before our chapter acceptance happens. So both lessons and reviews need to be finished before we enter chapter acceptance. Collation can only start after all the chapters have been accepted. Next will come project monitoring and control, which will mean merging the files and signing of the book, and the project closure with archiving and postmortem. Our project status report as of this month. We are currently in amber after being in the green for the past few months. Issues with scheduling are affecting the progress of the project, which is putting our triangle out of balance. Main issues are related to the exam period, which is affecting our author's capacity to produce manuscripts. This is a risk that has been planned for and is not a surprise. Another issue affecting our progress is related to unforeseen significant changes in content that leads to time blowouts. These have not been accounted for and have the potential of creating a problem. In this report, we are currently in amber because of these changes. They required the design team to rework specific lessons, blowing out our time. Nonetheless, on a positive note, the design team is performing exceptionally, increasing their efficacy and reducing their time per piece of content to 3 hours per lesson, which is much lower than the initially anticipated 5 hours per lesson. This will allow us to win back the time that we're losing by revising those lessons that had to be reworked. This brings us to managing our scope change. As mentioned in the previous slide, the accumulation of considerable changes in content coupled with further changes that are expected in the near future thanks to those changes in legislation means that our project management triangle is in jeopardy, specifically in our time, which we would require more of. Following discussions with relevant stakeholders, it has been decided that we will adjust our scope by removing the chapter reviews. This change will not affect the quality of the product, but will help us manage time better and achieve a successful delivery of our product at high quality and within budget. If we do not adjust our scope, then our time blowout will get out of hand and jeopardize the quality and even our ability to deliver the book in time for print. Let's look at the business outcomes. The project closure will include archiving the files, doing a post-mortem by having a form sent out to all the team members, and a meeting at the end of the project, and of course the celebrations at the end of the month. Looking at the business outcomes, at the end of the project we will have produced 2 textbooks, VC Legal Studies Units 1 and 2 and Units 3 and 4, with an updated curriculum. Alongside these textbooks, we will have digital resources and sales materials. By completing this project, Edrolo will be in an advantageous position ahead of other competitors in the education sector because they will be bringing an updated curriculum with the latest VCE requirements. This is it for now. Thank you.